Indie gaming has a soul, but I wanted to see the unusual one, the weird one, hiding somewhere out there, and all I had to do was reach out for it. Our first game is Labyrinth Demon King. It's a first-person survival horror dungeon crawler set in a dark, mythical version of feudal Japan. Man, scary stuff. Even the menu music makes the booty hole uneasy. Shit, man, this goes kinda hard. I'm ready, y'all. The game starts with you waking up and seeing this, cat person? I don't know, pretty much. The cat person explains how things work with a small tutorial and all that. And after that, they explain what's going on here. And basically, we play as an Ashigaru, a foot soldier whose lord and army were betrayed and slaughtered by a powerful demon king. As a sole survivor, we gotta enter a terrifying labyrinth so we can seek revenge and kill the demon responsible. Shit, man, sounds easy enough. This demon motherfucker gonna feel the wrath of the dragon, Prepare your ass, demon! So we dropped into some forest where we gotta walk to a cave, and while walking there, I started feeling the atmosphere of the game. Pretty atmospheric. So we entered this suspicious dark cave where we see this monster eating a chocolate croissant. Nah, I'm joking, he's eating someone. Kinda said that bro just dips out water recipes. But anyway, we keep going deeper into the darkness of the cave where we find a bucket that lets us climb to the surface. On the surface we find this lady who tells us that in order to face off against the Demon King, we gotta defeat all the wardens in 4 towers. Okay. And finally we enter the labyrinth where we see these two gentlemen fighting each other. Man, what did I do, man? You know, it's a pretty hostile place. Just walking around the labyrinth feels anxious. And from this point on, you're gonna try to make sense of the labyrinth, navigating with the map, collecting items, upgrading your gear, finding your weapons, and facing off against enemies. And there are a lot of enemies in this labyrinth that keep you tense. Sometimes you're wondering if you shouldn't just run away like a little because man, some of them are basically unkillable. So yeah, always remember to save. And man, fighting in this game ain't easy. You got stamina, and if that thing runs out in the middle of a fight, man, good luck. Bro, I absolutely love the aesthetic of this game. The labyrinth just feels so uneasy and unpleasant. I was constantly getting lost, ending up in random places, trying to navigate, not knowing where to go, how to progress. In the atmosphere of the game, somehow makes it even worse. But eventually, while wandering around the first tower, you're gonna run into a cat person again. Bro is not grind collecting meat. I respect it. So apparently bro is a hustler cat, and you can buy stuff from him using coins you found throughout the labyrinth. There are also other friendly NPCs like the Kappa blacksmith who can upgrade your weapons and gear, and honestly, all of them have the craziest sounding voices. Well, this is approximately how I sound like to people in my videos. There's honestly a lot of cool stuff in this game. Different weapons, useful items, upgrades, and all that good stuff. The wardens you face off in each tower are crazy and scary looking. The boss fights were actually fun and memorable. And the game isn't short either. It took me like almost 9 hours to complete it, and I got all the achievements. Man, all I'm gonna say is that the staircase at the end was crazy. I honestly really love this game. It's genuinely a banger and a masterpiece, and I can only recommend that you guys check it out. And now I think we need something to relax ourselves after the hostile world. Meet this fun little cozy game called Creature Kitchen. You start out in some dark magical forest where you follow the small light to a cabin. Once you get there, you have one goal: cook and feed all the different creatures that live in the forest in order to make them your friends and uncover all the forest secrets. Of course, it's not that easy. You gotta figure out what they like so you can prepare the right food for them. In order to understand what they want, you gotta take a picture of them. The photo will tell you what kind of dish they want and how many they need. You can also just randomly take pictures with the camera. Nice! Cooking itself was pretty fun. First you gotta prepare all the ingredients in the right order, then place them in the magical oven so you can cook up the meal. But if you do it wrong, you're gonna ruin your dish. And then all you can do is just throw it away. Solving the puzzles, unlocking new recipes, discovering new places, and getting to know all the creatures that live in this magical forest was genuinely fun. The creatures in this game are definitely creatures. Man, look at his fancy pants. Bro just walked in without saying anything, sat himself down, and started waiting for something. I gave him some food, and then he just got up and left without saying anything. You know, I just love small indie games like this. There's just something so cozy about them. I had a lot of fun exploring Creature Kitchen. It's related relatively short and I completed it in a single evening, and I definitely recommend y'all check it out. It's pretty fun. Okay, you know what? I feel like we haven't quite reached weird yet. We gotta fix that. Meet Navicula Meatus, a bizarre first-person puzzle game inhabited by weird fleshy meaty creatures in a strange alien world. The game is straight up nightmare fuel, and I absolutely love it. From the moment you start, you understand that this game is special. It doesn't explain anything to you. The menu itself is just this cryptic thing that you gotta decipher in order to actually start the game. And then you drop into this alien world where you slowly start figuring out how things work and what's actually going on. Look at that elevated sequence. Pretty cozy. So you run around this strange world trying to find items that different creatures need, getting familiar with them and their weird language along the way. Man, what kind of French is that? But it definitely sounds funny. Maybe kinda hellish too. The different locations in this game are generally so freaking cool. I don't know, something about this nightmarish world is just weirdly chill. But anyway, don't worry, there's actually a way to decipher the language into English and understand a little bit more of what's going on. Even then, the game still leaves you in a constant state of confusion, and it honestly never leaves you. Luckily, there's a guide made by the developer that explains how to solve everything in the game, so if your brain starts melting, you can always check that out. This strange world took me on an incredible journey, a gaming experience that I never had before. Man, check out this game, it's an absolute masterpiece. I kinda wanna get back to the weird little cozy indie game shtick, you know? Next up we got DISCOPUP. Man, I'm kinda vibing to this. So what is DISCOPUP? It's a surreal mystery adventure game where you play as a seal trying to get into the hottest nightclub in town. DISCOPUP. Honestly, this game is kinda like spooky Animal Crossing. Alright, so the game starts with you at some kind of bus stop trying to get a ride to the DISCOPUP club. And in this game, time plays a big role, so if you don't accomplish your goal in time, like figuring out how to get on the bus, you fail. The first location is more of a tutorial where the game explains how everything works, so you find a card in a dumpster and eventually make your way to the town where the DISCOPUP club is. Man, that bus scene is crazy, I'm straight up vibing again. So after you finally get to the club, there's just one problem. The bouncer is only letting dogs inside. Your mission is to explore the city and assemble the perfect dog disguise before the club closes. On your journey, you're gonna meet a bunch of funny, strange, and honestly pretty cute animal characters. The adventure this game takes you on is pretty bizarre. There are a bunch of different endings, and all I'm gonna say is I ended up wearing a mask made of real flesh just to get inside. You know what they say, whatever it takes. So yeah, this game is an absolute jam, and I can definitely recommend you guys check it out. And here we are. Bro, this one gave me one of the most unique indie game experiences I've ever had. Hylics is an extremely surreal stop-motion style JRPG that kind of feels like a playable dream. Its claymation-inspired visuals create this dreamlike psychedelic atmosphere, and I generally have never experienced anything quite like it. You play as a strange humanoid named Wayne, traveling through this bizarre, abstract world in order to defeat an evil tyrant ruler called Gibby. And so you begin your journey through this alien world, exploring strange places, fighting weird creatures, and assembling a crew of equally strange friends. And the more you explore this world, the more you realize just how weird it actually is. Death itself is just another place you can visit, explore, and even trade meat for an upgrade. Similar to other JRPGs, you get different items here for various purposes. Some make you stronger, while others replenish your will or health. The fighting system is just so beautifully done, and the animations are definitely the highlight that makes it stand out. The whole experience is fairly short, but it left me with emotions I honestly hadn't felt before. I was completely submerged in the world of Hylics, wondering for its bizarreness until it became one of my favorite games of all time. And the entire journey is accomplished by an equally beautiful and bizarre soundtrack that fits the game perfectly. You know, just give this game a chance. It's an absolute masterpiece. What, you thought that's it? Nah, man. There's another Hylics game. Hylics 2 is a direct continuation of the first game, and my first reaction was, damn, that's kinda different. But anyway, we're back. Or I guess Wayne is back. So we run around this beautiful house filled with a bunch of other Waynes and pet a Wayne cat. Hell yeah. Also, I checked out the new Afterlife. It's pretty chill. And while heading outside, I noticed even more Wayne's training. So we gotta talk to the big Wayne, and he tells us that Gibby is about to be resurrected, and we gotta do something about it. So Wayne teams up with his old friends once again in order to defeat Gibby. Honestly, it's not easy to understand what's going on in Hylics. Like, bro, the story is kinda crazy. Like, what's going on, man? But it didn't stop me from enjoying the ride. Honestly, I think it kinda sucks you deeper into this world, making you constantly wonder what the hell is even going on. But anyway, as you leave Wayne's house, you get your first look at the new world map. Well, what can I tell you? It's definitely an improvement in size. It also looks quite a bit different compared to the first game, as you might have already noticed. And I was pleasantly surprised they get an airship later on, which makes trailing around way easier. Man, you can even hang out and chill in them off. Pretty cool. Also, man, look at that movement. Winning his friends can now spin around like that and fly, letting you reach all sorts of new places. Bro, the camera also looks very cool, man. So many new abilities, effects, and animations. I mean, just look at this, bro. You know, Hylics quite often feels like an art installation that just so happens to also be a game. I mean, don't tell me you're gonna look at this and say you're not stimulated enough by everything going on your screen. And that soundtrack, man, it's just crazy. It was also constantly surprising me, man. I never knew what to expect or where it was gonna take me. Like, the dev decided to add a whole 2D mini game where you play as a tiny Wayne. Oh, this random first person section. And this is also where the thought popped into my head. Yeah, this is probably the most unique gaming experience I've ever had. And I also found myself asking, why am I so attracted to it? Maybe it's because the game feels like something the developer wanted to make out of pure love for creating things. And that's exactly why I love indie games. Hylics is just so special to me, and I recommend you guys check it out. It's just incredible.